What up,
everyone.
y'all? My name is Jamar.
And I'm Brianna.
And this is the Safe Word Podcast, episode 10. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We made it to episode 10, you guys.
Yeah,
this is our season 1 finale.
Yay.
My goodness.
Woo.
I don't even know really how to thank each and every one of you guys that tune in every week, that comment, that leave messages and DMs and emails and everything. Just, chiming in and being a part of the safe space. It means more to us than you guys can know.
Ever know, honestly.
For sure.
So thank you for all your support. Everyone out there that's been supporting us and asking questions and all of that. Thank you so much for joining in to our safe space.
Yes. And for those of you who are just tuning in, welcome. Come on in. Watch the other episodes that we have in our season. This is episode 10. So we have a few under our belt. We've been doing our thing this season. I tell you what, I think that we should just start by letting people know what the safe word today is going to be.
So today, the safe word is going to be chinchilla.
Chinchilla. Awesome. I don't really even know what a chinchilla is, I'm going to be honest with you. I know there's like chinchilla fur and stuff like that, but I've never seen an actual chinchilla.
Me neither. I honestly got it from Jay-Z because I remember him saying it in one of his verses.
Yeah, well, you see, there it is. That's what, it's crazy how like the arts can entertain you, or not entertain you, can inspire you is what I was looking for. And it can like subliminally affect how you say things. That's probably a good topic for one day, talking about how things are just, culture just, is driven by these little pop culture references and things like that. So
things that are trending and stuff.
We touched on it a little bit with reality TV. That one episode where we talked about reality TV, and we talked about how a lot of our popular phrases right now come from reality TV. So anyway, we're gonna jump right in to question number 1.
Question number 1 is, could you still be with someone who doesn't share the same religious beliefs as you? I know that can be super major for some people. What do you think?
It's crazy because some people probably overlook the significance of being with someone who shares the same religious value as you. I mean, for some people it works. Me personally, it's one of my non-negotiables. I cannot be with somebody who doesn't believe in the same God that I believe in. Not that there's anything wrong with non-Christians or anything like that. Please, let's not make it about that. But I know for me personally, in my life, it's very paramount for me to be with somebody who believes in Jesus Christ, believes in the God that I believe in. And I think for me, it boils down to the upbringing that I have and the teachings that I've learned across my time on this earth, and how I live my life and how I plan to raise my kids. There's certain lessons that we don't even realize come straight from the Bible that our parents have taught us, that if you're not a Christ follower, or even let's say you're not, because it's not just limited to Christians, but if you're not of the same faith as your partner, you're not going to connect on those levels. There's certain things that are be ambiguous in your life. So I feel like it's super important to be aligned in faith with the partner that you choose to spend the rest of your life with. I think it just makes things easier. You guys have one clear direction, and you can, avoid conflict. Like, who wants to argue about going to church on Sunday morning because you want to get up and go to church, and your partner's like, nah, I'm not doing that. I don't believe in I don't believe in your God, or like if you want to pray before Thanksgiving dinner and your partner's just grubbing down because they didn't want to say grace. I don't want to deal with all that. I don't have the time for that. So that's my opinion.
So for you, your short answer is no. You cannot.
Yeah,
You can't be with someone who doesn't share the same religious beliefs as you.
My short answer is no.
No. Well, we agree on this because it's the same for me. My short answer is no. I can't be with you, and it's for the same, pretty much the same reasons as you said. Like, it's more difficult, number one, for me to be with someone who's like Muslim or something and I'm Christian. Like, it makes it exceedingly difficult. And then especially if you have children, it's like, how are you going to teach them? You know, one parent wants to teach them their way of life and their religion, and the other parent wants to teach them their religion. It's like, it's going to conflict at some point. So yeah, no, I mean, it's way too complicated, way too difficult. And I feel like it might also cause tension too in the relationship.
Absolutely.
And that is just, no, it's all avoidable. Like, listen, you believe in Jesus, you got a relationship with Jesus, all right, we can date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, but yeah, I mean, we agree, basically have the same points with this. I honestly, I can't. I actually did talk to someone who I found out didn't believe in any God at all.
So atheist?
Yeah, he was pretty much atheist. He didn't believe in God, period, like nothing. And I was like, oh, I guess I probably should have asked this, you know, in the beginning.
You could ask.
But I didn't think about it.
She'll tell you, when we first, we went on our first date, our first time really talking to each other, one of the first questions that we had talked about was whether or not, you know, we believe in God, because that's important to us.
Actually, no, we didn't. We didn't ask that question. You didn't ask a question, but you mentioned about going to church. And I think you mentioned that to see what my reaction would be and to see like what I would say. And then when I was like, yeah, my church, blah, 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 blah. And then he was, you know, in his mind, oh, okay, good, you're going to do it, okay.
Hashtag same thing.
Not really.
The point is that we both ended up on that topic on the first date.
Yeah, we did.
That just shows an emphasis as to, you know, how important it is. It's not like I went out and said, do you believe in God? Do you believe in my God? Okay, then we can proceed. No, it wasn't like that, but then the conversation was had. Honestly, there's a lot of people who don't even entertain that conversation until 3 months down the road. You're already doing all type of things with this person. You thinking about wedding rings and introducing that person to your family and all these things, and you don't even know if they believe in the same values as you.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's the most important thing in the world to everyone. But again, a lot of people overlook just how important a religious upbringing or whatever your religious background may be, the effect that it has in your life. There's a lot of principles and a lot of beliefs that you get straight from your book.
Yeah.
Whether it be the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or whatever. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, babe, there's a lot of people out there who don't believe in anything that you can tell that they don't really have a higher source to channel or to put their faith in because of the way that they act, you know, because of the way that they behave. It's like, it's almost like, you know, they think that, and a lot of people do believe that, you know, what they do and what they are is only a result of them. And I don't want to get too preachy. I'm not Kanye. I don't have a number one hip hop gospel album or anything like that. You know, I'm just saying. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Okay, well, time will tell. Well, yeah, that's pretty much what we have to say. What do you guys think? Could you date someone who doesn't have the same religious beliefs as you, or is that something that's not necessarily too important when it comes to dating?
Or like Brianna did earlier, have you dated someone who wasn't of the same faith as you? And how did that work out? You know, because honestly, we don't have the right answer for everyone. Mm-hmm. Some of you are watching could be married to someone who was of a different faith than you. And if you are able to make it work, share with us, how did you make it work? What are some of the things that you did to make sure that you respected each other's boundaries, and et cetera, et cetera.
And I have a bonus question for you all out there in a safe space. What if your partner, who you guys share the same religious beliefs, what if they decide to change their religion in the middle of you guys dating? What if they say, you know what, I was a Christian, but I think I want to convert to Muslim now. What would you do?
What would you do?
WWYD. That's right. WWYD.
All right.
What would you do?
That's a good question.
Let us know in the comments or DMs or our email, wherever you would like. But let us know.
Yeah. Or the YouTube that you're watching this from. Make sure you guys comment down below. All right. So, question number 2.
Yes.
Question number 2. What are the pros and cons of cancel culture? Now, before we even answer this, we wanted to pose this question because cancel culture has been one of the hot topics of the past couple of years, in the sense that, you know, it's everywhere. Everywhere there's a conversation of someone being canceled for this or canceled for that. But what exactly do you think are the benefits and the disadvantages of it, babe?
Well, I don't really know that much about cancel culture. So I guess I'm not going to have too much to say about this, but I guess maybe the pros or the advantages of cancel culture is instilling a zero tolerance for unruly behavior or bad behavior. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, if someone did something, if someone did something, even though it was a mistake, there's consequences. It kind of teaches you that there's consequences for all of your actions, whether it be good consequences or bad consequences. Obviously, if you do something bad, you're going to have negative results. You're going to have bad consequences. So I think that the advantage of cancel culture is that it does teach that. It does instill that, because a lot of people think that they can get away with certain things that they really should not be getting away with. So I would say that's one of the advantages. The disadvantages is kind of one and the same, the zero tolerance, because people can make mistakes and they can also learn from their mistakes. And I feel like sometimes the cancel culture doesn't necessarily allow you to learn and grow from that specific mistake, because it's coming back at you. It's coming back there. Everybody's throwing it back in your face all the time. Even you may have apologized for it 10 years ago, like with Kevin Hart, and then it just comes back in your face and people are just throwing it back in your face. And it's like, well, that's not fair. I'm allowed to grow and learn. I'm a person. I'm a human being. I'm allowed to learn from my mistakes and then move on to becoming a better person, a better individual. So that's pretty much all I have to say. That's what I think, advantages and disadvantages.
Well, I, on the other hand, have quite a few things to say about it. Naturally, I always have a few things to say about everything. So here's the thing about cancel culture. I'll start with the pros, the benefits. I think that cancel culture has allowed people who didn't have a voice before to have some type of representation in the world. I believe that there are a lot of movements that have started through the origins of cancel culture, you know, whether it be the Me Too movement or whether it has been holding certain high-profile celebrities or whatnot accountable for the things that they've done in the past, such as Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, etc., etc. So I think, like I said, it gives a voice to the voiceless. It allows people to band together to rally behind a certain cause and really affect change in a lot of situations where otherwise it wouldn't be anything that, you know, was affected. As far as the downside of cancel culture, I'm gonna just start by saying chinchilla. And side note, I know that I'm probably 9 out of 10 times always going to be the one to use the safe word, and part of that is because I know that what I say is probably going to rub people the wrong way, and I just want y'all to know that I don't care. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and that chinchilla is just you being put on notice that I'm about to say something that comes from the heart. So, chinchilla, I believe as though cancel culture is a flame that has been fanned by social media. So social media allows the entire planet to be connected in one way or the other. We can have people that we will probably never meet in our work in our life, but we can connect with them instantly through social media. Social media has also allowed us to showcase and display our best selves. Now, follow where I'm going with this. Nobody wants to actually show the bad days or the mistakes or the bad hair days or anything like that. The pictures where they have a lazy eye or whatever on social media. All they want to do is showcase their picture perfect ideal image, full of glitz and glamour and charisma, and without any of the flaws and the imperfections that make us human. Now, the reason why I said that is to tie it all back to cancel culture. Because we have this ideal image on social media, anything that goes against that, we all feel comfortable bashing and attacking, including mistakes. How is anybody supposed to grow in life if they're not allowed to make mistakes? If you were a toddler and you wrote on the wall like most kids did, I think I did too. I think we all wrote on the wall with crayons. Crayons, markers, whatever. If we got scolded and made to feel like, worthless or whatever, and people held on to that for the rest of our lives, how do you think that would affect our development? How do you think we'd be able to grow? So what makes you think that as an adult, just because you're a little bit older, that all of a sudden you're free from flaw? Like, do you guys get what I'm trying to say here? Everybody has the capability of being great, but on the other side, everybody has the capability of learning from mistakes that they've made in the past and also growing from prior ways of thinking. Like, half the time, the things that we're canceling people for were not even a factor at the time that the people were doing those things. Some of the things that people say, some of the ways that we thought, 20, 30 years ago, for example, we're going to talk about the homosexual community. 20, 30 years ago, nobody was caping for the homosexual community. It was talked about derogatorily in music, in film, on the street, everywhere. Now, it is more accepted and applauded for people to be brave enough to be out, to come out the closet and to embrace their inner truth, which is amazing, which is great. But you can't rally behind a banner to cancel someone for thoughts that 90% of the world had at that time. That's like saying we're gonna cancel Britain because at one time they colonized us. You know what I mean? That's like saying we're going to not talk to any Anglo-Saxon because at one time white people enslaved black people. That's not progressive. That doesn't actually help anything. That just, honestly, it keeps us in a state of fear of learning something, a fear of actually stepping out and be like, you know what, I may not have the right answer. This is how I felt at the time, but I'm looking to move on and grow. But I can't do that because everybody's trying to cancel me because of something that I did 10 years ago, or some way that I thought back in the day. I really could spend the whole segment talking about the cancer that is cancel culture. I really feel like now it's a fad. It's like, somebody makes a mistake, let's cancel them. And then the worst part is those cancels are fake cancels. You're gonna say you're gonna cancel somebody, and then 2 days later you talking about them, you supporting them, you buying their music, you watching their TV shows. It's such bull crap. It really is. But Let me get off my soapbox now, because I honestly, the real deal is I really do feel like cancel culture is setting us all back, and it's making us. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's desensitizing us to the real things that need to be canceled. You can't say someone's canceled for a mistake that they made, because then when somebody really needs to be like left in the past, you're not gonna take it as seriously because you done canceled everybody else in the whole world.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay, baby. I spoke for the both of us.
I spoke for myself, so.
I know, but in terms of time, like, I know you didn't have that much to say, so
Okay,
I took up your time and I spoke up for the both of us.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean?
For that.
Because we're a team.
We are a team.
Shout out to us. Okay, what do you guys think? I welcome all forms of disagreement to what I just said. Come at me, bro. And also, I welcome all agreement. If you guys agree with us, if you disagree with us, whatever, just let us know. Comment and join the safe space.
Please.
Yeah. So the final question of the night, question number 3, as I'm trying to remember what it was. I feel like I put so much energy in that second question that I completely forgot what the question is.
Let me save the day. Question
Please do.
number 3 is, why is it so hard for us to keep up with our New Year's resolutions?
Oh yeah.
Why is it so difficult? Why?
Is it for some of us?
For some of us.
Yeah. So,
For most of us.
Yeah. Some of y'all.
Some of y'all got it. Y'all got your life together.
Y'all
got
got
it
it,
down pat.
okay?
We need to learn from y'all.
You got it. You
Yeah.
got it. I'll keep my answer short. I feel like some of the reasons why we may be failing in keeping our New Year's resolution is it's gimmicky. It's gimmicky to have a New Year's resolution. I don't know who came up with that whole idea of New Year's resolutions and New Year, New Me and things like that. It's like, why start going to the gym if it's what is it, October, it's the end of October right now. Why am I gonna wait till December to start going to the gym to lose weight? I have a whole 2 months. But yeah, I'm like, come January 1st, I'm going for it.
Bruh.
No. It's like whatever you're putting off on that moment, you really could just do tomorrow or tonight, depending on how late it is. You gonna say something?
I was just waiting till you were finished.
Okay, and the other thing that I feel like we're not able to keep up with is because I feel like we don't actually set measurable and attainable goals. So we sit there and we say that we want to learn a new skill or a new hobby, for example, and we don't actually set out blocks of achievement. Like, okay, so I'm gonna learn how to play guitar. In the first week, I'm gonna learn my scales. Not scales, that's kind of hard. In the first week, I'm gonna learn my chords. So there's 6 chords. Boom, that's cool. By the first month, I'll have 3 songs down. But if I just say I'm gonna learn guitar in 2020, I don't actually set any goals for myself. All I would do is set myself up for failure.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of us find our obstacles or run into our obstacles, is the fact that we set our goals, but we don't necessarily set the plan to carry out those goals. And I, for one, and I speak for myself, I'm definitely someone who does that. I will set goals all day, but I don't actually sit there and say, okay, how exactly am I going to carry out this goal? How am I going to make this a success? And I think a lot of people suffer from that. Well, you just don't think about it. Me, personally, I just don't think about it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then I'm just like, okay, well, how do I do this? You know what I mean? So I think that's definitely an issue that a lot of people have. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons why New Year's resolutions are not really, fulfilled after January.
But I just don't get it. Like, if you know that, then why not safeguard yourself from that? If you know that, your ambition expires, so to speak, after like a week or so. Why not set yourself up to have those checkpoints, and not just you, but like in general?
I don't know.
And that's what I mean. Like it's like it's the excitement and the energy of a new year.
Yeah.
And it all ends up being word vomit.
Yeah.
Not to make you feel better or anything like that, but I mean everybody's good. You know how many times I've said something that I'm gonna do. As a matter of fact, I don't think I made a New Year's resolution in 5 years because I know that all it ends up being is bullcrap.
Yeah, I don't think I've really made one in a while either. At least a significant one. You know, like I think I made one like, oh, I'm gonna start working out now, and then after about a week, it's just like, yeah, maybe next week, and then it just turns into never. So,
An eternity later. Yeah, it's. I think New Year's resolutions are not. I don't think I can take somebody seriously.
I think that they're good. Whoever came up with it had good intentions, and I still think that they can be very, very beneficial to you if you do it right. If you actually carry out what you say you're going to do, I think they could be very beneficial.
But I don't think that you need a new year for that.
You don't need a new year, but I think that the feeling of a new beginning kind of motivates and inspires people to want to create change. So, I mean, people who move to a different area, I'm sure they do things differently. Like people who move to like a different city or something like that, they probably say, all right, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna, like when I moved into my new house with my parents, my room, let me tell you, my room in my old house was not the cleanest. And I told myself I was going to make sure that I kept a clean room and space in the new house. And I did for a little bit, and then it quickly just, it just got dirty. But I mean, at the same time, I had some stuff going on. Like I was in school and I was also working full time and all of that. But now I've kind of gotten back into like saying, all right, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I keep a clean space. I want to make sure that I do what I need to do to, you know, keep it clean. And honestly, I've been doing a great job so far. It's been a couple months. So I feel like once you put your mind to it and do it, like it'll happen for you. You just really have to put your mind to it though, like really, because otherwise it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you really got to put your mind to it, and guess what? You don't need a new year for that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that the majority of us in this world don't really ever get the focus and the willpower to accomplish half the goals that we want to accomplish. And I believe that sometimes we set ourselves up for failure when we have all these New Year's resolutions and they just end up going down the toilet. And I know that some people are going to think that I'm a bully or whatever, and I'm a killjoy for trying to stop somebody from being hopeful on New Year's. But ask yourself, you know, if you've been alive for, let's say, 18 years at least, look at the past 5 New Year's resolutions that you've made, and how many of them were you able to accomplish? If you okay, tread carefully, you know, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. If you can say that you've accomplished one of your New Year's resolutions, then you probably are more accomplished than a lot of the world. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't have the world's number in my back pocket, but I feel as though, or it feels as though, the majority of the world talks nonsense about their New Year's resolutions, and 2-3 months later, the person is just the same as they were the year before. But I would love for you guys to prove me wrong. I really would.
It's just so easy to fall back into your old habits, you know? fall back into your old ways. Change is hard. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Change is hard, and it's hard to maintain. So that's probably another reason why, you know, New Year's resolutions, they don't last.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, once you put your mind to it and you really stick to it and say you're going to do it, it'll happen.
When the clock strikes 12 and it's a new year, it's not like anything really changes. It's not like the world goes and things are different.
But if you have to think that to help you attain your resolution, then think that.
Sure, absolutely. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it doesn't just happen by osmosis. It takes work. So when I say that things don't change, I don't mean that your mindset can't change. What I'm saying is that things are not going to just change, you know, visibly after the clock strikes 12. You have to have that in your head, like she said, to put it that things are going to change. And you got to focus on that every single day so you don't slip back into the habits that you had before. And that's not even just a New Year's tip. That's a in general tip for anybody trying to learn anything or trying to focus on anything. And I think we all could utilize that.
Absolutely. What do you guys think?
What y'all think?
Let us know.
What y'all think out there?
And if you have any tips on how to, you know, maintain your New Year's resolutions, please share them, because we could all use the help.
Absolutely.
I agree. All use the help.
Yep. So. And with that being said, that brings the first season to a close.
Yeah, guys, we did it.
My goodness. It's so hard.
Okay.
No, honestly, it's been amazing. You know, we definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in and being a part of the safe space and sharing our episodes with your friends and family. I challenge everyone to really take whatever lessons that they may have learned or topics that they may have that we may have provoked thought and really just bring them to your friends and family and talk about it over dinner or talk about it at the water cooler at work, you know.
Yeah.
Because our job here is to ignite and provoke thought
and conversation. Yes. We definitely invite you and encourage you to go ahead and have these discussions with your families. That was one of the main purposes of us starting this podcast, is to get discussion out of people. So share this podcast with your family members or friends, and then maybe discuss it, you know, afterwards. And then let us know what you think.
For sure.
Comment.
Any shout outs you want to give before we go? This is unscripted, so, you know, I just threw her on the spot.
Who would I shout out?
Anybody that, you know,
I'm not good at this stuff.
Anybody that you feel
you
as
go
though...
first.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I want to shout out...
shout out my mom and them.
I know, right? My cousin Pookie them. I want to shout out them boys at PSM for definitely tuning in and giving us positive encouragement. I want to shout out the Not So Podcast for having us on their show and being real supportive as well. Shout out to Two Fly, Adler, David, Chris. Shout out to her parents for letting us use this space for now. Season 2 is going to have a little bit different of an aesthetic. And shout out to my co-host with the, you know, best. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. I didn't want to sound too cheesy. Hold on. Shout out to my co-host with the mo-host. You know, this podcast isn't the same without you. So,
aww,
shout out to you.
So sweet. Thank you, babe. Well, I'm happy to, you know, accompany you on this journey.
Any other shout outs? That's it?
Are you gonna acknowledge that I said that?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. That was so sweet. Thank you so much.
I know. Anyway, I mean, shout out to my line sister Kels, because she be commenting and coming with the heat.
What up, Kels?
Shout out to who else? Shout out to Kenya, because she be commenting. Yeah, she be commenting too, coming with the heat, and she also has been giving us some topics to discuss. So also, guys, whenever you have any topics, please let us know. Feel free to comment, DM us directly, email us, whatever you want to do, whatever avenue you want to take. Let us know, because we can definitely use some topics. We want to know what you guys want to hear. We want to know what you want to talk about. So shout out to Kenya, shout out to Nia as well, because she's been doing that. Shout out to Jessica. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and watching us. We love you so much.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, we do want to definitely shout out our number one commenter, our number one our number one contributor in the same space. Shout out to Nunu. Yes, Anushka, thank you so much for always providing some type of feedback, some type of opinion, some type of life, some energy, into the safe space. We love you. We appreciate you. And I think that's it until season 2. So we will keep you guys up to date through Instagram at the Safe Word Podcast in terms of when season 2 is. Until then,
I'm doing 90 on the interstate, remembering all my mistakes. I'm sorry.